So, hi everyone. So this is the third session of our AEM. So, for the first two sessions, we were talking. I need to know a lot of things about this one slide alone. I should know why AEM chose, what are these technologies, what is the purpose of each of them, where it plays a role. So when I open my we use for Eclipse for AEM, similar to our Eclipse ID that we use. Within this ID, where part. So how can I realize that when I make a change and when I edit a page, where this layer comes? See, this is what will happen in project. What they will do in project is you might need to analyze an issue. Okay, so they say that in so and so page I'm supposed to see a content, and that content is like distorted, that content is bad. Okay, so I might get an issue saying like instead of cloud services, it is rendering it as a non-cloud services, something. So it's showing a different text for me. How do I troubleshoot? It all narrows down to slide only. This text that I am seeing that is rendered on the page, it will be translated into there are AEM tools, there are AEM API which is actually rendering it on the page. Okay, so if I'm going for HTML language, I will be using like AEM APIs, like a use API. I will be rendering content on my page. I can render this content using the Sling, like there's something called as Sling model. These are the options that I'm having. In order to render on my web page, I can either do it at the we have a layer called, we can do it using a language. We are going to learn that language called Cycli. I can optionally go for a Sling layer. I can render layer. I can render content at JCR layer also. I have like Java APIs, Java API called Node API, node.getTitle. I can do something like this. So at the JCR layer also I can render the content. So basically it depends on how your coding has been implemented. Recommended will be to stick to the
Hello? Hello, your voice is breaking. Sarnam, I cannot hear you. Hello? Hello?
All right. Yeah. Sorry for the disturbance. So we can code at AEM layer. I can code at a Sling layer. I can code at a JCR layer. So it's up to my choice to choose like at what layer I want to code, and basically accordingly the data, the content will be rendered on my page from these particular layers. It's purely your coding discretion. It's up to the developers to code how they want it. Recommendation is to stick to the AEM layer. Recommendation is to stick to the Cycli layer. So even in your projects, even in an interview or anybody who asks whether you want to code it in a Cycli layer or any other layer, right? If I want to code it, there are other options. Like I can either code it as a Cycli or even JSPs. Recommendation is to go for Cycli. Recommendation is to use AEM API. Simple reason being is I can get support from these people, like from Adobe. They can, if at all any production issue happens, I can get support from them. If I have coded in some other layer, I really don't know whom to even talk to, right? Like if I get stuck at the JCR layer, like my JCR API, JCR.get title is always supposed to return a title, and in production for some reason it's not returning a title. Whom do I ask? Like, is there a customer care for Oracle guys? How do I contact Oracle technical team to get it resolved? In case if it is done in AEM layer, I have a daycare ticketing system and I can raise a daycare. So that's why they say recommendation is to stick to the but depending on project, there are other requirements where I will be driven to do coding, or I will be asked to work upon the other layers, and I should be working on them as well. I should know what are the other layers and how to work on them. When we see more exercises, we'll be learning more on them, right?